Okay, this is a piecewise function, and what we're going to do, well, first of all, let's look and see what it is. In a piecewise function, we have f of x, but f of x could be equal to negative 2x minus 4, or x plus 3, or just plain old negative 1. It just depends on what part of the domain we're interested in. Remember, domain is all the x values in a function. Well, here it says if x is less than negative 2, f of x will be negative 2x minus 4. And it says if x is between negative 2 and 1, f of x will be x plus 3. And if x is greater than 1, f of x will be negative 1. So let's try and figure out how we're going to graph this and represent it. Let's start off with the x is less than negative 2. Negative 2x minus 4, I'm going to go ahead and make this blue, has a y-intercept at negative 4, way down here. That's a dot. And then it has a slope of negative 2 over 1, which means m equals negative 2 over 1, and that's the same as 2 over negative 1, so rise 2, run negative 1. Rise 2, run negative 1. There's a dot. Rise 2, run negative 1. There's a dot. Rise 2, run negative 1. There's a dot. Now, I've only made dots, and I'm not going to draw the line just yet, because I see that this is only true for x is less than negative 2. In other words, over here, where x is greater than negative 2, I don't want to draw anything. But here, where x is greater than negative 2, I'm going to continue this line. So let's see what I can do here. So I think here we go, we're going to try, see how this works. There we go. And I'll just continue this trend that will keep going up to and over 1. And one of the things I want you to notice is that at the end here we draw an arrow because that line continues on in that direction. On the other end, we don't have a crayon, so this value of x will never be negative 2, not for this blue line. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in a open dot. Let me see if I can make that a little prettier. There we go. There we go. There's our open dot. So for x is less than negative 2, we will have this function. Now, when x is between negative 2 and 1, including negative 2 and 1, we get x plus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and use red. We'll go ahead and put the y-intercept at 3. That's right there. And then the slope is 1 over 1. So we rise 1, run 1. And we rise 1, run 1. Now remember, we're going all the way back to negative 2, so we go down 1 and back 1. And go down 1 and back 1. And we only go up to 1, so I probably should not have put this extra dot right there. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw the line. And we're going to start at 2, or negative 2, and we're going to go, I accidentally left an arrow there, and that's a mistake. I got to get rid of that. Let's try doing that without an arrow. No arrows. We go like this. Something like that. Let's see if I can get this right. There we go. So, let's go ahead and draw, we don't need any open dots, but I am going to go ahead and put in some filled in dots on the ends here, because for this part of the piecewise function, we have all, this graph represents all the values of x between negative 2 and 1, but also it includes negative 2 and it includes positive 1 because of the crayons. All right, then finally, let's go ahead and put some dots down for this. When x is greater than 1, we have y is negative 1. So right here, starting here, we have y is negative 1. So we put a dot here, and here, and here, and we're just going to have a horizontal line. Hopefully you guys remember Hoivux. If you wondered how to graph y equals negative 1, and remember, f of x is just y after all. If we have y equals some number, we get a horizontal line. y equals -1, and the O means 0 slope. If we have x equals some number, we get a vertical line and an undefined slope. Anyways, back to this. Let me go ahead and draw the line. So this time we will have an arrow. Let's see if I can get that, squeeze that arrow in there. And should go like this. There we go. Let's see if that works out. Great. Okay, so the arrow goes off to the right because that line goes on forever to the right, and this line goes on up and to the left forever. And then one last little thing is we've got to make sure for the -1, y is -1. It's only true where x is greater than 1, not when x is 1. So we'll go ahead and we'll put a big old open dot right there. And this is the graph of the piecewise function f of x that's defined right here. Go ahead. Can I? Okay. All right. That's all I got for you. Hope that's it.